Coming up on this week's episode of SVG Motors Weekly.
Behind me are Chevrolet's three most popular models, the Equinox, the Silverado, and the Malibu.
Hey, I'm gonna introduce you to the GMC lineup. Come and check them out.
We do have a 1.8 liter hybrid that's gonna get around 49 highway.
But that really cool feature about that is as you're jamming out to Alice in Chains or Linkin Park or Steve's favorite, Lionel Richie.
I don't want you going out and getting in an accident just to try it out, but I appreciate the gusto though, Scott.
Appreciate it.
Need a car, need it bad, need something better than what you had. Not sure what you wanna, where to go. Well, there's one place that you need to know. SVG is the place for me, where you get superior value guaranteed.
Hey there, this is Scott Lozanne at SVG Chevrolet in Greenville, Ohio. Behind me are Chevrolet's three most popular models, the Equinox, the Silverado, and the Malibu. The reason why they're so popular is because they have more bells and whistles and are safer than their competitors' vehicles. Tyler, can you tell us why the Malibu performs so well?
Absolutely. On the 2018 Malibu here, it's gonna come with three different engine sizes. We have a 1.5 liter, it's gonna boost 36 miles per gallon. We also, if you're looking for the best fuel mileage out there, we do have a 1.8 liter hybrid that's gonna get around 49 highway. We also have a 2.0 turbo. It's going to boost a very impressive 250 horsepower.
Hey Brian, can you tell us why the Silverado performs so well?
Absolutely, absolutely. The Silverado, this has a 5.3 liter, this one has a 5.3 liter in it, and actually boasts 355 horse out of it. They also have the option for a V6. The V6 is going to use about 285 horse on there. The vehicle itself, 22 miles per gallon. It has active fuel management. You know what that means?
I do.
Yeah, so active fuel management actually means it's going to shut down the four cylinders sometimes when you're driving it to actually preserve the fuel on there. Altogether though, the performance of the truck, you pull about 9,800 pounds with this 5.3 liter, so it's an awesome truck.
Well, thanks a lot. Hey Corey, how about telling us about this Equinox? Why does it perform so well?
Sure. Now you do have three options of different motors. You can actually get a 1.5 liter turbo, which comes with 170 horsepower with just a little over 200 foot-pounds of torque, which will also give you about 32 miles to the gallon with a 6-speed transmission. You also can get a 2.0 turbo with 250 horsepower and 260 foot-pounds of torque with a 9-speed transmission meant for towing. Now that will tow up to 3,500 pounds only if it's equipped with a factory installed hitch. You can also get the 1.6 liter turbo diesel, which will actually get you 40 miles to the gallon highway with a 6-speed transmission. So it has 137 horsepower with 240 foot-pounds of torque.
You can get a turbo diesel in this?
You can get a turbo diesel in this now. This is new for this year.
Wow. So that's a little bit about the performance of these three vehicles. Next, we're going to talk about the design.
Hey guys, this is Craig up here at SVG Urbana. I'm here at our new franchise, Chevy, Buick, and GMC. Now you've heard about the Chevys. We've also introduced you a little bit on the Buicks. Today, I'm gonna introduce you to the GMC lineup. Come and check them out. Hey, so first up is the 2017 GMC Terrain. Now, you've heard a lot about the Equinox over these last few years and that smaller mid-size SUV market, and this is where the Terrain's gonna fit into. As far as some of your other competitors, I mean, you're going up against the Ford Escape, maybe even some of the people looking at the Ford Edge if they want something roughly around that size. But there's a lot, this is a really hot market, and what GMC does is do something extremely well with this. This one here has a 2.4 liter four-cylinder. You're gonna get up to 28 miles a gallon on the highway. Now, obviously, if you're a little easier on the gas pedal, you might be able to exceed that. And I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about the Terrain. But looking at the body, and this is really one of the big striking features with GMC, is that very blocky, mean looking front end that you get on there. And GMC they just do it right, I think, with that one right there. All right, we're gonna jump inside real quick. Now the one we're looking at, this is an SLE2. Now right across the steering wheel, it's really easy and it's very convenient. You're gonna have your cruise control across there. This has a collision alert as well as a lane departure warning. Here's your audio controls. I mean, everything is just right where you need it, so that way to keep you from having to take your hands off the steering wheel and your eyes as well. Now this also has the GMC IntelliLink, and there's where a lot of your technology is going to come from. This one I'm sitting in right now has a Pioneer system, so with all the technology as far as your Bluetooth, being able to sync up your phone with that, play Pandora. I mean, we all have tons of music and just a library that we have access to now to play music. That CDs are starting to go by the wayside, and the fact that I can store so many on my phone, but also have access to pretty much any music ever made, and I can play that through my car as I'm driving, which is really awesome. But that really cool feature about that is, as you're jamming out to Alice in Chains or Linkin Park or Steve's favorite, Lionel Richie, someone makes a phone call, it's gonna cut right in through your music, and that's where the hands-free Bluetooth comes in. Again, safety feature. You're not gonna have to worry about turning the volume down just to answer on your phone and have to worry about picking it up, and right there's your safety. That's a huge safety feature. A lot of people don't see that as that, but that, as much as it is an ease for us, it's also a very big safety feature. Now, we've just talked about some of the features that you're gonna notice up here in the front, but one of the biggest reasons people are gonna jump into a GMC Terrain, Chevy Equinox, the Buick Envision that you've probably seen around town, is the sheer size of the vehicle. What's really nice about it is the cargo room, the passenger room. We've talked about the 28 miles a gallon on the highway. So one of the largest segments of vehicles today is the mid-size car, as well as the mid-size SUV like this, because you can still get a family of 4 or 5 comfortable inside, decent gas mileage, and have good amount of room here in the back. And that's what we're gonna look at next. Open up the trunk on these, or the gate on these. It has a 60-40 split back seat. So when you don't have the kids in the car, you make a trip through Lowe's or Home Depot and you have all the stuff that you're getting ready to plant for your garden or your flower beds, you have plenty of room for that. And again, you're still getting good gas mileage. But also on top of that, you're also up off the ground a little bit. And that's what people are trying to look for, visibility, not only for themselves driving, but they want to be in a little taller vehicle because that makes them a little bit more visible as well. So this is a 2017 GMC Terrain. Now, this is a brand new dealership for us. So one of the things we don't have is the brand new 2018 GMC Terrain. So as soon as we get one of those in stock, we're gonna be showing you some of those features. But I've got probably one of my favorite trucks that we have on this lot right over here.
Earlier, we talked about the performance of the Malibu, the Silverado, and the Equinox, but now I'd like to talk about design. Tyler, what can you tell us about the Malibu?
On these 2018 Malibus, we're gonna have LED headlights and taillights. Also very aerodynamic design. Overall makes it very sleek and stylish and just makes it a real classy car for the average consumer.
That's great, Tyler. Thanks a lot. Brian, tell us about the Chevy Silverado.
So the Silverado, they actually came up with a very muscular design on it, indented on the hood there. That's a nice feature right there. Also, basically, a lot of the design on here is actually set up for aerodynamics, even though it's a truck. But you also have a lot of noise deadening in the design of this, which makes for a very quiet and quiet ride on there. So
that's a great looking truck, Brian. Corey, can you tell us about the Equinox?
Yes, sir. Now, as you see here, it's completely redesigned in and out. Now, what GM, they actually made it 400 pounds lighter, and they shortened up the wheelbase by 4 inches. You didn't lose any room, so you still got plenty of cargo room back there. And you also have the beautiful LED daytime running lamps with the halogen bulbs here in the front.
That's great. Thanks a lot, Corey. We appreciate it. That's some great information about the design of these vehicles. But to see the whole vehicle, you guys will have to come out to SVG Chevrolet in Greenville, Ohio.
All right, guys, next up, 2017 GMC Sierra. This is the crew cab SLT with the all-terrain package. This thing is the perfect combination. Off-road ability, so you can tear across those cornfields, do all the work that you need around the farm, just have some fun, but also refinement and luxury. This is the vehicle that after you spray that mud off of it, you guys get all dolled up and take your wife down to see the opera, go out to just a night on the town, and you are not gonna feel like you had to change vehicles, because this is everything that you're gonna need. One of the things we're gonna check out, 5.3 liter V8. this has got the power that you're gonna need to pull pretty much anything from your normal work day. If you have maybe a small lawn care business, up to maybe your weekend trip. So you're hauling a camper behind that with you and the kids in the back seat. You're gonna be able to do a lot of that stuff with this. But one of the really striking things with the all-terrain package, what it does is it gives you the body color bumpers, front and rear. It takes some of the chrome off, which I know a lot of people like the chrome, but I just love the looks on these. But if we kind of walk back here a little bit with me, you'll bet it's just a good look at the tires. They do a really cool design on the rims on these, which is really fun. And we all have the side steps. Now, a lot of the newer design, a lot of the companies are going to like more of the rectangle. They're a real big side step, which are really nice, but there's something, again, with that all-terrain package, that these steps just make it look kind of mean. But let's check out the interior. All right, guys. Now, remember what I was talking about, just the awesome combination of this GMC Sierra. Again, just coming across the steering wheel, the cruise control is right here. It has a heated steering wheel, buttons right on here, a hands-free Bluetooth. Behind on the back of the steering wheel is your audio controls. Again, so you don't have to take your eyes off the road or your hands off the steering wheel. It's got automatic four-wheel drive as well as locking it into high and low. There's your OnStar. That's another really cool feature that a lot of people maybe want to dismiss, but it's there not only for General Motors' sake, but our sake as customers. When you're in the vehicle, just the crash responses that can come from this, just a lot of the things that they give you. You can actually download the app onto your phone and you can remote start as well as lock your vehicle from anywhere in the world. We can talk about that in another segment. There's a lot of really cool stuff in there. One thing you're gonna really see in this one is there's a ton of storage space in here. So down in here, a pretty deep well. You have a lot of plug-ins here, 2 USBs, you have 2 outlets, you have your parking sensors. This thing has adjustable pedals. That way this vehicle will fit just about anybody in the world. You got some big cup holders, you've got some room all the way down in here. You've got 2 more USB ports down in here. You're talking about, again, we're talking about a truck. Technology, luxury, all-terrain, rough. This is the one right here. This has the wireless charging pad for your cell phone here. We got it all, man. I don't need another vehicle. But hey, you know what? We got some room in the back. Let's check that out. Here is the back seat in the Sierra. Now this will seat 3 across here. You've got room. You've got a cup holder here in the middle when you just have 2 passengers. There's plenty of leg room back here. I mean, they're comfortable seats. You have an outlet back here as well, so they're gonna have that, a little bit of storage room. But let's be honest, we all want a truck. We always dream about having a dog, but you don't want him jumping up on them seats. One of the really cool designs in the Sierra is when you lift up both of these seats, it gives you a little bit more cargo room here in the back, but it's pretty flat going across here. There's not a big hump in the middle. There's only a smaller hump there in the middle, but what that does is that gives you room for old Blue. He doesn't have to get on your seats. He's just gonna be able to sit on here. This one actually has the all-terrain mats for the back row as well. All right, now we're talking about a truck, so we gotta talk about the real workhorse of just having a vehicle like this. One thing you're gonna notice when you look at the back is this window here, right here in the middle. It is a power sliding window, so you can get airflow, obviously up front, but also maybe you need to stick something through there, you never know. Up here, there's a cargo lamp, so at night, just like anytime you're working, you're gonna have some stuff maybe in the back of your truck you need to get. You can actually turn that cargo lamp on so you don't have to hold on to a flashlight just to get stuff out of the back. One thing you're gonna notice right away when you look in here is this is from factory. This is a spray-in bed liner. So that way it's gonna protect scratches. It just looks nice. It's gonna keep stuff from sliding all over the place while your load is in the back. But check out the back end of this vehicle right over here. Now again, with the General Motors design, down here in the corner of the bumper is the steps. You don't have to bring a step down. You don't have to bring a step out of the tailgate. It's just an easy function on there. This one does have the easy lift and lower tailgate, which is super awesome. Instead of it just slamming down all the time, you can just open it and let it go. And raising up is pretty easy as well. This does have the trailering hitch on there with your 7 and 4 pin connections here. Here's your rear park assist. So you've got your sensors back there as well as your backup camera on there as well. If you're looking for a truck, this is the one that you do not want to pass up, at least checking out. Get up here to SVG, look at this one. But I got one more GMC I got to show you.
So in today's world, technology is really important when you go to choose your new car. Chevy doesn't scrimp on technology. When it comes to connectivity on your Bluetooth and your phone, hotspots in your vehicles, Chevy has all kinds of options. What can you tell us about that, Tyler?
All right, nowadays everybody has to be connected. He did briefly touch on the Bluetooth. All of our Malibus will come standard with Bluetooth technology. Also, we have a 4G LTE mobile hotspot. That way the whole family can stay connected on long trips or anything like that. Also, you're gonna get what they have, it's called the My Chevy app. And what that's for, you can remotely start this vehicle or unlock or lock the vehicle. It doesn't matter if you're in your house or away from the vehicle or states away, you can lock it or start the vehicle.
That's awesome, Tyler. Thanks a lot. No problem. Brian, what's the Silverado have in the way of technology?
So hey, you have OnStar, okay?
Okay.
OnStar, Wi-Fi also, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay on here. I mean, I don't know too many trucks that have this much technology built into them that's any other brand. I mean, I know Chevy's one of the few that has the Wi-Fi on there, so love that you get in there, man. Computer at your hands, you know, so.
You can even listen to Tom Petty, right?
Yeah, you can listen to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers if you want. So
that's awesome. Corey, tell me about the technology in the Equinox.
Now what this Equinox has, it does have a rear backup camera, it does have rear backup sensors on this, so, and it does have a rear cross traffic alert. Now what that is if you put it into reverse and you can't see from the back of your camera, those sensors are going to detect which side the vehicle is coming from.
To keep you from getting in an accident, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
That's awesome. Thanks, Corey. The technology is really awesome in the new Chevys. The best way to get to see it and feel it is to come in and see us at SVG Chevrolet in Greenville, Ohio.
All right, guys, last up is the 2017 GMC Acadia. Now, what GMC has done is they completely redesigned this. This thing is smoking hot, but this is probably the vehicle that just personifies GMC, just their dedication to the professional look, but just the ruggedness and luxury all just balled up into one and gives you an awesome vehicle like this. This has, again, just look at the front end on this. It still keeps that GMC look. There's that big, bold, solid front end that just says, get out of my way, because I'm coming. But when you're on the inside, the ride is just, there's nothing like it. They've done an extremely good job with this one here. This one, you actually have two different engine choices now in a GMC Acadia. You can get a 4-cylinder for the people that do want to have a little better gas mileage, but still want the ability to have a third row. But also, you still get the good 6-cylinder, 3.6 liter 6-cylinder, the Davenese, for that little bit more giddy up and go. They've just done a really good job with these. What you will find out, and as we start going through the vehicle, I want to let you know a little bit ahead of time, they've actually gotten a little smaller. They have taken the Acadia, they shrunk it down just a little bit because it falls in with the Dodge Journey, oddly enough, as far as just being in a weird set of not as big as all the other ones, but bigger than some of the smaller ones, and you still get a third row in there. You guys got to check this out. Come on, follow me. All right, guys. We're gonna look at the inside of this brand new Acadia. Now, pretty standard stuff. Again, power windows, locks, mirrors here on the door. It does have the 2 memory seat settings over here, which is awesome. Maybe you and the wife want just automatically, as long as you have the 2 separate keys and they're in there, the seat as well as the steering wheel are automatically gonna be able to go to where you need them to be. Now, this also down here on the door, and we'll see it here in a few minutes when we open it, but you can actually, this is where the open and closes for the rear liftgate. Now, one of the really cool things about this Acadia is this. Yes, they did make it a little bit smaller by design, but you get on the inside, it still feels as big as ever. Wow, this thing is nice. Now, probably the coolest thing they did is it's just got an extremely clean, simplistic look all the way across. Now, this is a push button ignition now. So we'll be able to fire it right up. Now, this is a Denali. This thing is loaded to the gills and it's beautiful. Heated seats, it's got cooled seats. Here on the steering wheel, you're gonna have your cruise control, your forward collision alert, as well as your heated steering wheel here, hands-free Bluetooth, This is the IntelliLink that we have across here. This has dual temperature controls. But with all this stuff that we have going on, it's not overwhelming. They just did an extremely good job. Down here you have your outlet. You have 2 USBs in your auxiliary. You have your cup holders. And you got some more storage down in here. This thing is just, man, I'm ready to go to town on this thing. This is awesome. There's more to come. Let's get in the second row. Now, as always, the really nice thing about these getting in the Acadia is you have the ability, if you can have the bench seat in the middle, or you can have the bucket seat. So that way, people getting into the third row, all they gotta do is just walk right through to climb in there. But even if you don't want them to do that, all you gotta do is lift this up, slide it forward, and they're able to get in that third row really easily. Now this one here has the DVD package. Check it out. So if you've got a bunch of kids, they're gonna be able to be very well entertained. They're in the back of both of these headrests, so they're gonna be able to be seen even from the third row. It also has the huge skylight, so over the your second row, they've got the opening up here with the shade, so they can close it off. But my kids love looking up through the moonroof in our minivan, so this would be extremely fun for them. But the legroom is still really nice here in the back. And one of the really cool things with this one, heated seats back here in the second row. It has temperature controls back here, as well as more USB ports and an outlet, and a little bit of storage back here in the back as well. So there is plenty of room for not only you and your significant other, but also your kids and your passengers here in the back. So there's no shortage of technology, or let's be honest, we all have cell phones, we all have electronic toys, they all need plugged in. You got plenty of room for it. Let's check out that third row. All right, guys, now just like pretty much all SUVs on the market, people are gonna wonder about the storage room in the back of the vehicle, so let's check it out. This thing has the power rear lift gate, so you have a couple different ways you can open it. You can either open it by hitting the button here on the back when you're standing back here, on your remote, or up on the driver's door, there's the button there. So this is gonna come up. You notice the third row seats are up, so this is the room you have in the back. Now this one actually has an additional feature from the factory. This actually has the all-season mats that attach to the third row for back here. So when you lay them down, they're automatically protected over top of the carpet. So what you can see is this one is set up to seat a total of 6 people. You can see 2 in the third row, the bucket seats in the middle, and then the bucket seats up front. Now, the really nice thing, these are gonna go down really easy. You just pull these cords, the seats go down instantly. That creates some more cargo room for you. But on top of that, that second row is gonna go down, but you're starting to load something in there and you just realize it's a little bit longer than that. That's all right, what you need, you have these little handles here on the side. We're gonna pull those down, and look at that. Instantly, without having to walk all the way around the side of the vehicle, we've just created more room. Now there is a ton of storage room here in the back. Extremely easy. But you also notice we actually have an outlet here in the back for when you're doing the tailgating, or the people in the third row need the outlet, as well as there's a USB port right over there for charging as well. These vehicles nowadays have a ton to offer, not just cargo room, not just seating, but looking at the technology, the comfort, the ride, just the feel of being in the side of the GMC Acadia. You're gonna love it, but don't take it from me. You need to get up here to SVG Urbana and check it out yourself.
Earlier, we talked about the performance, we talked about the design, and we talked about the technology of the new Chevys. But what is most important to most of you is safety of you and your loved ones. Tyler, what can you tell us about the safety of the new Chevy Malibu?
The Malibu is going to be one of the safest vehicles on the road. It comes standard with 10 airbags. That way, while you're traveling, everybody's safe and sound on the road. Also, you're going to have a blind spot monitor on some of these models. Also, you're going to have a rear cross traffic alert, as well as forward collision emergency braking.
That sounds awesome, Tyler. It makes me almost want to have an accident. Brian, what can you tell us about the Silverado?
Okay, it's 6 standard airbags in the Silverado, okay? But it is a 5-star safety rated vehicle. Also, I want to point out the OnStar again, because that's more of a safety feature than anything on their crash alert, and also the blind spot on some vehicles It is available on some models on there.
So the OnStar will actually call the police if you're in an accident.
If you're in an accident, if you're knocked unconscious, they're going to
call an
talk to you.
ambulance.
They know exactly where you're at, so they can actually send help if you need it. So hopefully you never need it. I don't want you going out and getting in an accident just to try it out. But I appreciate the gusto though, Scott.
Appreciate it. Corey, tell us about some of the safety features of the Equinox.
Some of the safety features on here, just like Tyler's Malibu, this vehicle does come with 10 airbags, and just like Brian mentioned on his Silverado, you do get the OnStar's automatic crash response and roadside assistance. A lot of the features on here, like the rear backup camera and the sensors, those are a lot of the safety features that are standard. Well, the backup camera is standard. So.
That's great. Is 5 stars the most crash rating we can get?
Yes.
That's the best crash rating. And all these have 5-star rating, is that correct?
And this was IIHS's top pick for safest midsize SUV.
Wow, that's awesome. So there you have it. 3 of Chevrolet's most popular models, the Equinox, the Silverado, and the Malibu. Stop out and see us to test drive a new Chevy here at SVG in Greenville, or if you can't see us, go to our website to check out the incentives and the latest rebates at svgchevrolet.com.
There we go. That's a wrap.
Everybody, hey, it's time to wake up. Are we ready? Things are gonna shake up. Can you feel it? Feel it on the inside. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now. We can always reach a little higher. Find a way to light a little fire. Turn it up and never let it down. You know nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now. We've never been this far before.
Thanks for watching another episode of SVG Motors Weekly. And if you haven't done it yet, go to youtube.com and subscribe to the SVG Motors channel. Or go to our Facebook page and like our page. And last but not least, if you want to see future episodes, go to your DVR and search SVG Motors and catch future episodes. Thanks again for watching.